back to Sports Rock Show.
Sprock.
Now comes the rock part of Sports Rock.
Rock and roll.
All right. Cool. We're going to talk a little bit of rock and roll, and, well, of course, we're going to talk a lot about the
Ding. What are we talking about?
The greatest band in rock and roll.
Hot news.
Greatest band ever, period.
Hot news.
Hot news in rock and roll.
Hot stuff. Shake it up.
Doug, you lead us off on this one. You got the hot news on this one.
Stones will play 4 shows. 2 in London, November 25th and 29th, I believe. And they will play 2 shows at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey on December 13th and December 15th. Tickets seem to be, at least I know in the States, are anywhere between $100 and $800, I think. There are already tickets available on StubHub.
Mm-hmm.
2 tickets up close, $16,000.
16 grand?
Break your piggy banks, people. Break your
2
piggy
tickets
banks.
up close.
For 16
First or
grand?
second row.
I should be handing Keith his guitar for 16 grand.
I bet they sell them.
I bet they do too.
I bet they sell them. There'll be somebody, I don't care, 16,000 for one night. You're in the first or second row. Shit, I'm in.
The key thing with this, they will, I would say, God willing, and everyone will stay healthy, this will be like the preliminary of a tour, I'm sure, of some sort.
Yeah, I think you'll see a 2013 tour of the States. How big it will be, I don't know. I don't know if they'll do, 20 cities, 30 cities, 15 cities. I mean, if they want to play, they can play certain locations. If they set up the residency tour, so to speak, where they go to Atlanta for 5 days, and they don't play anywhere, much south of that, and they go to Texas and play 5 days. I mean, it just depends on if they decide to do, or I don't think they'll do a full-scale tour, but 30 dates might land you Cleveland or Columbus. 20 dates might land you Cleveland or Columbus. 15, I doubt it. I think there'll be Boston, Chicago, and Miami, and Dallas.
Maybe do mini
and
residencies in each or something like that.
Yeah, the bigger cities again. You might get Detroit, maybe might, because they'll play Ford Field. Maybe if they're going stadiums. I don't think Cleveland would probably be shut out. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh would probably be shut out. Philadelphia is in. It's too big of a market. Philadelphia, New York, Boston, maybe Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, maybe Houston. I don't know about Nashville. Of course, obviously Los Angeles, probably San Francisco, probably San Diego, maybe.
Seattle.
Maybe. That's if they go like 15 cities or whatever. But if they do bigger, then I think Cleveland's got a chance. But that's if they're playing arenas. If they're playing a stadium, then maybe Jimmy Haslam ought to get them to come to Cleveland Brown Stadium.
Well, I got a feeling Mr. Haslam, if they're even thinking about it, he'll open up Cleveland Brown Stadium for them.
That'd be something. Jimmy goes and says, "Let's go get them."
That'd be cool.
The key thing is, so you're thinking basically bigger shows, not smaller venues.
I would hope they'd be smaller venues. It may be depending on the tour size. If it's like 15 shows, I'm looking at probably bigger stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
If they do like 30 shows, 30 cities, they'll hit, arenas like Gund Arena or maybe Pittsburgh, maybe that new Consol Energy Arena. But that's all on that. I don't know, whatever they want to do. I mean, they could go back to playing the theaters, arenas, and stadium tours where they would play in Atlanta or Chicago, play one theater, small show, 3,000 people. Then they would play like Chicago Arena where the Bulls play or whatever. And then they would play Soldier Field. So you get them on all 3. I mean, if you went to all 3 shows, you'd see them in 3 different venues.
3 different set lists. For the most part.
For the most part.
I mean, obviously the stadium and the arena set lists are going to be kind of similar.
Well,
but that theater set list is going to be way different.
And I mean, obviously, as a Stones fan or any rock and roll fan, if you had the chance to see them in a theater, in a 3,000 seat theater, obviously that's better than seeing them in a 60,000 seat stadium. Obviously, ticket prices are probably a little bit different, but I think even their theater seats were cheap, actually, compared to what they could have sold them for. And those are where you see them up close and sweating out the blues. And
I think, well, I was going to mention both of these things. First of all, to see them up close and personal, that changes who all they bring along on their tour. It changes their stadium or their show quite dramatically also. The key thing with this is this will be in celebration of 50.
50 and counting is what it's being billed as.
50 and counting. Well, the key thing with this is, though, and I have to think this in the back of my mind, too, is that them boys aren't spring chickens, but, boy, they do bring it when they bring it. I'm thinking they're going to back off a lot on what they've done before on the major world tours and that.
Yeah.
Could this be the last time they do tour, actually?
This may be
The last time.
Maybe the last time.
I don't know.
And I don't think they know.
Oh no.
In a way, I don't think they know. I think they're at the point now where they're going to do this and whatever they've got planned. And it wouldn't surprise me that in another year they can easily tour whenever they want to. I mean, rather than those guys all doing shows by themselves, or they can always do Stone shows. I mean, Keith Richards doesn't have, well, he probably ain't doing any solo shows, but Ronnie Wood doesn't have to do a little solo tour. Charlie Watts is drumming for Ben Waters and stuff. He doesn't have to do those kind of shows. They could do a mini tour of the United States or Europe any year they want to.
Show or two a week. They don't have to overload themselves and do 4 or 5 shows a week.
Yeah, they can do 2 shows a week, do a month of shows, take a month off, do a month of shows, take a month off, do a month of shows, then come over to Europe and do a month, 5 or 6 shows a month. They can do that for as long as they can do it. If that's what they would choose to do.
Mick did say when they made the announcement, maybe some friends will be joining. So.
Oh, I think you're definitely going to see Bill Wyman.
I completely agree.
You may see Mick Taylor somewhere, but I think you're definitely going to see Bill Wyman in London. If not at one of the shows, 2 of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they come in,
maybe the
New Jersey New Jersey might be where you see Mick Taylor. Maybe he may play at both of them. He may play London and New York.
They announced.
I don't see Wyman play. I see Wyman playing both London shows, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, though.
But not coming to the States.
No.
Both.
That might be where Mick Taylor comes on.
The last New Jersey show, you said they're doing pay-per-view, correct?
Yes.
Maybe they'll have them both there for that.
If Bill come over.
Why wouldn't he? He comes over and does Rhythm King
stuff.
stuff.
To fly. Well, he doesn't come over often. He doesn't like to fly.
But that's a reason to come over.
Yeah.
The payday will be there.
I don't think Bill Wyman's concerned about payday.
No, I don't think he is either, but trust me, none of them are going to turn it down.
Well, Bill Wyman could quite honestly turn it down if he really...
I don't think Mick Taylor's turned it down.
No.
But Wyman very well may, because Wyman, he's very comfortable.
But
he's financially comfortable, and quite honestly, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he the oldest member of that band?
Well,
yeah. All them years of taking pictures of women's legs.
Well, actually, you're correct. He is no longer a member of that band, but as a Rolling Stone fan, he will always be a member of that
didn't
band.
Keith say once you're a Rolling Stone, you're always a Rolling Stone?
Wyman retired. He wasn't booted out. He just retired.
No, he's part of the classic lineup.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Daryl Jones has served his purpose well as a bass player for him now, but and he's been there since '94, I think. So I mean,
you got some time in.
Daryl Jones has been playing bass for him for a pretty long time. I mean, quite frankly, you look at 50 years, and he's been there damn near 20 of them.
Yeah, but he is not an official Rolling Stone.
No, and he never will be.
No, that's saved for the Brits only.
Yeah, there's only 4 of them.
The Brits only.
Yep. Otherwise, Bobby may have been one by now.
Oh, I'm sure he's given his tenure in the band.
Bobby's probably been there for 40 of them, hasn't
he? He's been there. He didn't play on the '81 tour. That was Ernie Watts.
No relation to Charlie Watts.
That's when I think that's when he was in his
rehab.
He was in. Probably should have been in rehab. Mick didn't like him or whatever. I think Mick fought Keith about him because he's buddies with Keith. He's been buddies with Keith for a long time, mostly party buddies. But Mick fell out of favor with him or whatever, and then they got Ernie Watts for the '81 tour. But then Keith got him back. Keith got Bobby back, and Bobby's been there ever since.
Any other news? We have any new recordings that we need? Well, actually, Mr. Becknell here. Oh,
Too late now. I'm undercover.
Race that back.
Undercover of the night.
Undercover of the night. Just saw Neil Young and
Yes,
Crazy Horse.
Neil Young and
last
Crazy
Monday.
Horse. Yes, we want a little review on that one.
Rocking 2-hour
We want a
show.
review on that one.
Opens with Love and Only Love, and that's a 15-minute jam or whatever. Goes into Powderfinger. Plays only two acoustic songs. Neil and the Damage Done and Born in Ontario, which is off the new one. He plays a lot of songs off the new record. Walk Like a Giant is 25 minutes, probably 10 minutes of feedback. Close to it. I mean, the guy is just rocking. Did Fucking Up, did Cinnamon Girl, did Hey Hey My My, Mr. Soul. I'm not going to complain after seeing Neil play it. He's fantastic.
Well, how many off the new one did you say he did?
About 5 or 6, probably.
5 or 6? That's pretty.
He did Born in Ontario, which is a new one. He did Walk Like a Giant. He did Ramada Inn, Psychedelic Pill, which is the name of the new record. He's got coming out at the end of the month, which all these songs are off on, which I think is a double album maybe, or double CD. It's only got like 8 or 9 songs in it. But fucking, like I said, that Walk Like a Giant's like 25 minutes.
Well, Neil's.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been noted for a lot of long songs with a lot of instrumental in it. Anything off Americana?
No. When I saw him in Red Rocks in August, he played Jesus Chariot off of Americana. But after that, no, it's been nothing off of that. I don't know why he doesn't play anything off of it. I really don't. I know he's playing a lot of new songs, which is quite frankly kind of ballsy for an artist to play 6 or 7 new songs that the crowd's
Nobody's
never
heard of, right?
Because I've seen 2 shows on this tour, and you get the people that are into Neil. Doesn't matter what he plays; they're just into it, like me. But I will admit that sometimes songs go on a little bit longer than After about 5 minutes of feedback, I'm cool.
Yes.
I don't need 10 minutes of it.
This is true. This is true.
I'd rather hear you play another song.
Right.
So there's people that go there and are kind of in agreement with me. It's like, hey, you play some songs maybe just a little too long, a little too much feedback at the end for 5 or 10 minutes to play The Loner and Rockin' the Free World or whatever.
Yes.
And there's other ones that are just pissed that he's playing any new songs at all. It's like, well, if he wants to play a new song, that's cool, or 2 new songs, that's cool, but where's Down by the River, where's Cinnamon Girl, well, he did play that, where's Cortez the Killer, where's Tonight's the Night, where's Hurricane? And he did play Like a Hurricane as the encore in Pittsburgh the day after that I saw him in Cleveland. His encores were Mr. Soul and Roll Another Number, which they're great songs, so that was cool. I would have liked to see him do Like a Hurricane, because that's
excellent. Classic.
That's classic, and he's ripping it too. But you can't go wrong with a Neil show. And I get the people that are there. I mean, they're there just. The girl that sat beside me in Cleveland, she was probably 40 years old, I'm guessing. She'd never seen Neil Young before, and Neil Young was one of her favorite artists ever. And I said, well, if you've never seen him, I said, with Crazy Horse, I said, I'm telling you, this guy's rocking. It's going to be rock and roll. And she's like, oh, that's cool, or whatever. And the guy she was with, I don't know if it was her brother, or whatever. It wasn't her boyfriend. Lying against me.
Whoa! Don't tell Mama that.
Hope the wife's not listening.
But at the end of the show, I said, hey, what do you think? Oh, it's great, or whatever. And probably too loud for him or something. I said, if you're a Neil fan, I told you, you'd be rocking. So if you like Cinnamon Girl, and because I started telling her song, I said, well, I saw him in August. I said, I can tell you, he's going to play this and this and this probably for sure. And she's like, wow, you know the whole set list? And I said, I can not tell you the whole set list, but I can tell you pretty close to a song or 2 off maybe that he's probably going to play. And I said, but I'm not going to tell you no more. I told you he's going to open with Love and Only Love for about 15 minutes, and then he's going to go into Powderfinger.
Yes.
And I said, I'm not telling you anymore. And she's like, wow, if he opens with those first 2, that'll be cool. And I said, well, I'm not telling you to count on it, but count on it.
Good chances happening.
Yeah. And it was. That's what happened.
What else is new in the rock and roll world?
You know, Pete Townsend said the only guy he ever wanted to fuck was Mick Jagger.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only guy he ever wanted.
The only guy ever he made comments about his luscious giant manhood or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got
His-
a luscious giant manhood, and Keith says he got a fucking tiny tie. I don't know.
Well, all I know is this is fucking way beyond me because now it makes me believe.
Keith
Now it makes me believe some of this stuff that was being said about him
maybe he
is
saw him
true.
after he got out of the pool. You know, and
Oh, everyone shrinks when you get out
and
of the pool.
Pete saw him in full erection or something.
Oh, everyone shrinks when
You
you're
see
in
him
the
in full
pool.
erection as he was
Yeah,
coming at
shrinkage.
him, or what?
Remember Seinfeld? The
Yes,
shrinkage?
absolutely. That's shrinkage. That's shrinkage. I was in the pool. I was in the pool. Everyone shrinks in the pool. If you're a guy, you
I'm
shrink in the
bigger
pool.
than that.
I go from 1 to 4.
Well, no, didn't he say that it was from? Didn't Marianne tell him that after he banged her or something like
I
that?
don't know. Nick's banged enough. I haven't heard too many girls complain about sleeping with Mick Jagger, so he must be doing something right. I don't know.
Even if he doesn't have a big tallywhacker, he has a big fucking wallet, so it
Oh,
doesn't
that's
matter.
true. He does have a couple bucks in the bank,
If I
probably.
banged as many women as he did, I wouldn't care what people thought about the size of my penis.
Well, hey, it doesn't matter if you get off. It matters if I get off.
Hey, it ain't like Hulk Hogan. He's suing Bubba the Love Sponge, and
I heard about a tape getting released.
yeah,
His manhood's probably tiny from all the roids.
he screwed his best friend's wife.
Oh,
That's what's on tape.
that's an upstanding guy.
His best friend told him to.
What? I didn't hear about this.
Hulk Hogan's supposedly at the time, or best friend for quite a long time, was Bubba the Love Sponge, who was the radio announcer. Similar to, they want to be Howard Stern.
Okay.
Bubba's okay, but he married a hot piece of ass.
Who, Bubba Love Sponge?
Yeah. And this guy is,
Bubba Love Sponge.
yeah, he's overweight a little bit, you know. He married this hot piece of ass. Well, anyway, when Hulk Hogan was down and out with his old lady,
Which isn't bad luck a woman either.
Bubba offered up his wife and said, hey, you know, if you're bummed out or whatever, and he hadn't fucked anybody for months or whatever, she'll fuck you. Well, I guess
She fucked him.
she fucked him. Somebody taped it. And they don't know who taped it.
Oh, yeah, okay, right. That wasn't a
Have you
setup.
seen footage of this?
No.
No.
It'll be out there, though.
But I do
It
know,
is out
I do
there, I
know
believe.
Bubba's wife, which I think her name, I don't know if her name's Heather, she is a piece of ass.
Nothing wrong with that.
They don't call him Hulk for nothing, I hope.
They don't call him Bubba for nothing either, am I?
Well, I don't know what they call him.
Well, I guess on that note, we're going to wrap this episode of Sports Rock Show up.
I guess if you're Hulk Hogan, you say, thank you. Thank you, too.
I want to thank you.
And
Oh,
then-
real quick, being that we're talking rock and roll, the three of us here are going to go check out the Led Zeppelin. Was
Celebration Day, 2007 reunion show.
Yes, we are.
I'll
But
let you know what happened.
that's going to wind us out for this episode of Sports Rock Show.
Rock.
See you later.
Really didn't think it's gonna make it. Really didn't think it's gonna make it this way. Put on my robot face, had my emotions way far away.